Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Harlequin Intuitive back with another pick a card reading. So for today's reading, we have little spell jars for the fairies because we are channeling what messages want to come through from the fairies or the fae spirits. So I made each one of these little spell jars with a different intention, and I'm not going to spoil in the beginning what the intention is. I'll get into that in the reading. And yeah, so these are all little spell jars that I made with different little herbs and different little things that I used for various different purposes. So go ahead and take a look at which one is calling out to you the most, and I will meet you at your reading at the timestamps below. So for group 1, we have this red spell jar along with this green agate stone. For group 2, we have the black spell jar with a blue howlite stone. And for group 3, we have this kind of light purple color spell jar with a green pyrite. So go ahead and pick which one is calling out to you, and I will see you at your reading. Hi, group 1. If you chose the red spell, let's get into your reading on what messages do the fairies have for you. So let's just go ahead and take a look. We have the 6 of chalices and the 6 of orbs. That is 2 6s. So the main energy that's coming in is about connecting with others, and the general energy of the Lovers card, which is about finding a mirror in others or expanding into a more social world. With the 6 of chalices, though, it's a very positive message coming through from the fairies. They're saying that you have the chance now to find emotional peace and satisfaction in your relationships. Even a sense of nostalgia or kind of like a childhood sense of happiness coming through with this. And the 6 of orbs talks about movement in the mental plane. So you could be moving towards something that you once lived before. Like you could be traveling back to a childhood home or a childhood hometown, or meeting with somebody from your childhood. It's this energy of like the fairies are kind of trying to lead you towards a place that you've already been so that you could remember this feeling of happiness. By the way, this spell jar, for those of you who are interested in knowing what the properties of this spell jar is, I made this one with the properties of passion and invigorating kind of firepower. So what it has inside is several little personal powders that I have created, but it also has paprika, rosemary, hibiscus, and cinnamon, and pink salt. So all of these have been charged with the energy of passionate love, and more than just love with somebody else, love for adventure and excitement. So if that can relate to this reading in any way, I would say that it's like the energy that wants to come through from the fairies for you is about returning to a childhood state of happiness. And that's why it's very positive, that it's like it requires a travel, it requires movement in this direction. But if you are guided, you will find happiness. So let's see what the Rider-Waite deck has to say about this. What messages do the fairies have for group 1, please? Okay. So what I'm getting is that you have been feeling stuck in not knowing how to get this feeling back. It's like, I think that maybe like the energy is kind of like when we grow up, we become more serious and we start taking life more seriously, and everything becomes boring, and the things that we used to enjoy we no longer enjoy because we have a lot of stress in our lives. So it's like it's saying that you've been feeling kind of trapped in a certain monotony or something that's not really moving anywhere. And so they're asking you to liberate yourself into a greater kind of world where you can kind of like go explore different energies. The Three of Wands is also saying that you have been waiting for something to happen and things have been stuck for a while. And so you're going to be guided now. Like you're going to be taken that it might not seem like the best at first, but you realize that it's kind of like a reunion over time. It's like a reunion with somebody that is very special to you, or with a feeling that was very special to you. This could also have to do with like the holidays, like meeting somebody that you used to know and then all these feelings coming back, like a floodgate even. Let's see if we have any clarity, please. I really feel like with this group, some of you have been blocked off from something for a while. There's an emotional blockage that with the World and the Ten of Swords, I'm even getting that some of you have moved a certain distance away from the people you love, and the fairies are now asking you to return to them and are guiding you towards this. With the Ace of Cups, it's like you have been blocked off from feeling emotional love or connection because probably out of just patterns in your life, or it could be out of the same situation that you've moved away from something you once were. With the physical distance, there's also mental distance, that it's almost like you've become somebody who forgot who you once were when you were a child, or forgot kind of the whimsical side of things, and it's cut off from a certain type of like emotional feeling, that it's time for you to open this up again. There's hope with the Star card. So with the Three of Wands and the Star, it's saying that like you're done waiting. There's no more waiting for things to change. It's finally going to happen, and things are going to start taking shape with the return of these feelings or the return of this. So if there are any like short trips that you're offered to take, or if you're invited to go anywhere with some people, or anything along the lines of that, where you actually get to physically travel or meet new people, or a door opens up to kind of go back to a place you once were before, the cards are saying absolutely take it, because it will lead you to a person or a situation where you will feel like you will kind of like remember something that was long lost. Like I'm even getting the themes of like long lost love, or like someone that never really worked out when you were younger, and now there's like another chance to be with this person. So be aware of that. Lastly, I'm going to ask the fire cards if they have any advice from the fairies. They want to channel any advice from the fairies on maybe like what path you can take or what steps you can take to move closer towards this. Ooh. Wow. So we have the Magician, and this is a very beautiful card in this deck. This Magician reminds me of like, I don't know, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings type of vibe. I don't know why. It's probably because the card has so much detail in it that it just reminds me of like a whole movie. You know, it's like a whole movie in one card. We have the Nine of Pentacles, which is all about enjoying your body. For some reason, that's the first thing that I got. Enjoying your body and enjoying the way you look. And the King of Pentacles, which is like in a way reciprocity, but also like wealth and abundance. So the fairies are telling you that there's something where you're going to be led, and you're going to become aware of how attractive you are now or another person is. So I don't know if this whole thing about finding a long lost love or meeting someone you haven't seen in a long time or something like that, suddenly it's like you are being seen as more attractive. Like the fairies are reminding you that you are very physically attractive and that you should be aware of it. It's almost like magic has been done on you, on your body. Like if you have felt stuck, it's like because of an old pattern that maybe you used to feel unattractive or you used to feel like you had no value. The cards are saying now that you have a lot of value to offer and you should be aware of it so that you can use it to your advantage. Because I see a return of something. I see like a reconciliation of not just with another person, but with yourself, with your child self. So there has been something where like all these years have gone by and something has been blocked off that you haven't even realized that you've changed. You haven't even realized that you've become like a very attractive, successful adult, and you're still stuck in the old patterns of thinking the same way you thought when you were younger or the same way you thought in the past. So it's like the main energy that I'm getting is things have changed. Things are no longer what they were, and now you can express yourself in a different way with others, and you're being seen in a different light with others. So this is a time of like opening the emotional floodgates in a way to reconciling with these feelings. Lastly, I'm going to ask the Enchanted Oracle deck if they have any final messages that want to come through from the fairies. Okay, any final messages that would like to come through from the fairies, please? Making a choice. Interesting. And come together. Wow, this makes a lot of sense. It even looks to me like the original cards that they're 2 6s, that one is movement, the other one is reconciling. It's like you have a choice now. The fairies are telling you that you have a choice, that you can either continue to stay home and be in your same kind of thing, or you can go back to something. I'm really seeing the option to go back to either like a hometown or like something along the lines of that, where you're offered a choice. And the fairies are saying, do anything you can to come together with the people you love and the people you care about, even if it's difficult or even if it's not what you would normally choose, because there's something there that will make you aware of a certain change that's happened in your life. It's like you need a certain mirror. You need to be reflected in someone else in order to see yourself clearly. That's the main energy I'm getting. And it's very beautiful to me how these cards are like similar and they have like these patterns of like these duality and everything. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing. That's the messages coming through from the fairies. I hope this reading was helpful for you, Group 1. If you enjoyed it, if it resonated with you, go ahead and leave a comment. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Like the video. And I hope to see you again in the future for more videos. By the way, I do have a sale going on this month for buy one, get one free reading just for the holidays. So if you are interested in that, go ahead and check out the link in my description box. And I hope you have a great day. So talk to you guys later. Bye. Hi, Group 2. If you chose the second spell, this is the black spell and the blue howlite stone. This is going to be messages coming through from the fairies for you. So let's just take a look. Ooh, my gosh, we have Strength and Lovers. These are 2 major arcana cards. So it's a time of great intensity and passion for you. By the way, this spell, if you were curious on what the intentions are behind it, it's about self-protection and preservation from any negative forces. So it would make sense to me that it came through with the Strength card. What it has inside is black pepper, pink salt, coffee, a few little like pine leaves, and cinnamon cloves with black wax over it. So all of these little items have been sealed with the intention of protection and ultimately strength. So this reading, what the fairies are wanting to tell you is that you have a lot of firepower and strength during this time, especially when relating to a love situation or any type of connection with another person. So this is I'm going to ask in a minute the tarot, but just overall what wants to come through is that you could be challenged in this time to assert your power or assert your strength in a certain situation. So this could be many reasons, but I'm seeing that for some of you, it's like love, the idea of love in itself has been a challenge or has been a test for you. It could be like a physical test where you're being tested with lust, or it could be more of an emotional test where you're being tested with like the emotional side of love. If it's not about love, it could be just a kind of challenge to assert yourself in general with other people when expressing yourself with other people. So let's just see what the Rider-Waite has to say about this as far as the messages that are being channeled from the fairies for group number 2, please. What messages from the fairies would like to come through for group 2, please? Okay, just one card at a time, please. Thank you. Okay, definitely a challenge for some of you. We have the Ace of Cups at the bottom. This could symbolize a new love that is suddenly bringing up all these feelings of like challenge. So let's just take a look. We have the Knight of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles, and the 9 of Wands. So first things first, I think that what it is for some of you is that your self-worth is going to be challenged. Let me just see if I can look into this. Things are happening very fast. Number one, with the Knight of Swords, it's like a lot of fast energy coming in. Sudden messages or changes or something relating to another person could be perceived as an attack. And just because it's perceived as an attack doesn't mean that it is an attack. But the fairies are asking you to pay attention to your intuition and learn from your past experience. There is a lot of physical attraction as well with this group. A lot of these cards are about the physical elements of yourself or another person, where your self-worth is being challenged. How attractive you appear to others is being challenged. Let me see if I can just get some clarity with these cards, because there's so many messages that could possibly be. Can we please see a more... Hold on just one moment. Okay, can we please see a more fine-tuned message for this group, please, that would like to come through from the fairies specifically? More fine-tuned clarity, please. Two knights. Two knights and a king and a queen. And the Lovers. So I do see for a lot of you this is a love situation where you're being recognized it's a lot of like physical attraction that's coming in as well. With all of this fire and all of this earth as well, they're lined up. See, somebody is rushing in towards you. Somebody is rushing in, emotionally spilling themselves to you. However, they are coming in as a very suitable person, where it's like they've been watching you working. Like for some reason, I see a work related situation where it could be work, but it could be just, the way you're coming off in general as being recognized for your value, being recognized for your, could be physical assets and beauty, but it also could be just the value that you add to any social situation. It's being recognized. By the way, the strength card also can talk about your inner strength and your talents. So it's like the energy that I'm getting really is that like your talent is coming through and it's attracting love into your life. So it's kind of like a lot of chaos, a lot of energy being directed at you. And so if you feel kind of weird about it, or you feel kind of like even the need to preserve yourself or protect yourself in some way, it's because of how you're coming off in any kind of social group or any kind of social dynamic where your value is being seen, your value is being recognized. And there is somebody that I see is seeing a lot of like emotional connection with you, a lot of like emotional desire towards you. With these fire cards lined up like this, I'm seeing that it's like, be aware, use your past experience to judge this. This could be a very transient energy where it's not a long-term thing. So instead of being pulled in different directions and like, like this, I'm getting like, don't trust necessarily just because someone approaches you. That's what I'm getting, because it's like there's this, with the Knight of Wands, there's this tendency to be pulled in different directions, especially with this other knight here where we have air and fire kind of like going in different directions. To me, it's like saying focus on yourself, focus on how you can invest this energy into your work and into building yourself up, and be aware of how you're coming off to others. Could be kind of just like a transient kind of thing, or a transactional kind of thing. So be aware of that. The fairies want you to see your power in this situation. They want you to see the effect that you have on others, the desire that others have for you is what is being shown here. That you are suddenly being shown this so that you can see your self-worth and connect with your true self, instead of like being giving that away to anybody, if that makes any sense. I'm just gonna ask the fire cards if they have any advice from the fairies that want to come through. Any advice regarding the situation from the fairies, please? How can group 2 use this energy, use this reading, and use it as a way to move forward or better themselves in some way? Okay. Wow, it's weird that those two wanted to come up. We have 2 twos and 2 swords. The 2 of Swords is telling you to look behind the scenes at a situation. There's something that you might not know about regarding a kind of lover, potential lover situation. The Queen of Swords, especially how she came in with the Queen of Pentacles, is telling me that it's like, be aware of any decision that you might have to make regarding people in your life. Be very choosy, be very selective is what I'm getting. Because just because someone's coming in does not mean that they're stable, does not mean that they're going to be like a long-term commitment. Be aware of what you want and choose according to that, rather than just falling for more of a lustful type of thing, because the Two of Pentacles especially is telling me about an exchange. If there's kind of like an exchange that you've had with somebody, or some kind of connection that you've had with somebody, it's like, be aware that you might have to create boundaries, is what I'm getting. Because again, it's like the fairies are saying that you're coming in as a very attractive, physically attractive person to somebody, and this is why you're receiving all of this energy. But they're also advising you to potentially create a boundary, because there's something behind the scenes that you might not totally be aware of. So be aware of that, anything that comes through in the following week or so. Lastly, I'm just going to ask the Enchanted Map Oracle deck if they have any advice from the fairies that want to come through. Coming to life and listening. Wow. Coming to life and listening. For some of you, I'm getting that it's kind of like this energy of passion and lust even is something that hasn't happened for a long time for some of you. So it's a big change, and it's almost like I'm getting like, don't overdo it. Like, don't go too far with it, because it's like, it's such a sudden shift and such a sudden attraction that it's like, kind of take it slow. Also, listen to what is being said. The fairies are asking you to listen. They might be sending you signs and symbols in your daily life through animals or through like nature, things like that. So pay attention to the signs to guide you. I'm seeing that there's just this overwhelming feelings, these overwhelming feelings that require certain clarity. And so the fairies are asking you to pay attention to the signs outside of yourself and use your intuition to be guided into how you want to take this moving forward and what direction you really want to take. Okay, so group 2, I think I'm just going to leave this reading at that. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful for you guys. Again, this is just a general reading, so if it did not resonate 100%, I am available for personal readings as well. You can find the link to that in the description below. Otherwise, go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know what you thought of this video. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you again in the future for more videos. Talk to you guys later. Bye. Hi, group 3. If you chose the purple spell along with the light green pyrite, this is going to be your reading. Let's just go ahead and take a look at what the cards want to say first, and then I'll tell you what this spell means. So messages from the fairies, please, for group number 3. Ooh. We have the 7 of Chalices and the Adept of Chalices. A lot of water energy coming through with this. So 7 of Chalices and the Adept of Chalices. To me, it also makes sense. First of all, the energy that wants to come through with this reading is about emotional peace and emotional navigation. So a lot of you could be feeling overwhelmed during this time when you see this reading. A lot of you could be feeling like you don't really know what step to take next or what path to go next. But I'm seeing that this will soon be resolved emotionally, because you're going to kind of learn how to navigate through the situation. If it's something that's happening in your family, in your relationships, where it's a lot of stress that's happening, a lot of stress that you're under, I'm seeing that you're being given the strength to navigate through it appropriately and accurately. So it actually makes sense, because this spell jar, I made it with the intention of tranquility and peace, specifically for anxiety. So it makes sense that these are the cards that came through with it. The ingredients that I used for this spell are Himalayan pink salt, lavender, chamomile, and what else? And like gold flakes, I think. Oops. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize that it started a new video. The gold flakes are to attract fairies and any other kind of like angelic deities. So yeah, the energy that's coming through with this reading is all about finding emotional peace and emotional tranquility. So let's just see if the Rider-Waite wants to say anything about messages that are coming through from the fairies for you, group 3. Okay, first thing is, some of you have been feeling stuck for quite a while. Sorry if there's a lot of noise in the background. So some of you have been feeling kind of stuck for quite a while, especially after leaving a situation behind. I feel like some of you have been emotionally disconnected from yourself as a coping mechanism to deal with these stressors or whatever it is the situation is that's overwhelming you. So as a way to cope with this, you've kind of disconnected from your emotions, and that is what has led you to feeling stuck with these, because the Hangman is like saying like, I don't know how to get out of here, I have no choice, and the Three of Wands is kind of waiting for something outside of you to kind of break open your shell. So it's like, it's this energy of like wanting to wait it out, wanting to wait out the storm. But the cards are saying that there will soon be an opportunity to kind of open up these emotions again and actually deal with them. So let's see if there's any clarity that wants to come through with these cards. Messages from the fairies, please. Wow, so there's been a lot of conflict underneath the surface is what I'm getting. With certain relationships in your life, I feel like there's just been a lot of conflict where you've had to make a difficult decision to leave something behind or to leave certain people behind for whatever reason. And it's been something that's been building for a while. It's not something that was an overnight thing. It was like, it's finally time to do this because I know that it's just been building up for a while. But I feel like on the other hand, in your own personal life, you felt insecure about this decision in some way, because with the Hangman, it's like you're reflecting on the decision that you made or the things that you said, and you're feeling somewhat insecure maybe. And so I feel like the reason why you closed off emotionally is to kind of wait out the storm with these people or with a certain situation, because it's like there's a lot of chaos around you, there's a lot of challenge around you, where you might feel like you have been judged for your decision. For example, it could be a decision that you made to cut off from certain family members or something like that, and you feel like other people have come in to judge you, and so you've kind of turned your back on all of your emotions as a way to not deal with it. So I'm just going to ask for some clarity with these to see if there's anything else that would like to come through about the situation. Okay, interesting. We had the Knight of Cups repeat itself. I was actually about to re-mention the fact that the Knight of Cups has come in almost as a solution for you. I feel like the fairies in this moment are guiding you towards emotional release, if that makes any sense. It's where you feel like you actually let your feelings out in a positive way, or you could be receiving certain messages through dreams or through something kind of otherworldly in that sense. Divine messages from any kind of symbol, reflected to you in nature or something, but also like dream state specifically, where you're able to have a certain release of emotions to process your emotions. So the fairies are asking you to kind of move through this instead of getting stuck. Move through your emotions by finding a way to process them in a healthy way. I'm just going to ask the fire cards now if they have any advice that wants to come through from the fairies, please. Any advice that would want to come through from the fairies regarding the situation? Ooh. Okay, definitely. I'm just gonna ask one more for clarity. Okay, beautiful. So the energy that has come through as advice from the fairies, we have first the Six of Pentacles. This means this card to me is heavy in this deck because it's about moving up a certain social class. That's what this card traditionally is about. But in this deck, it's about kind of the pain that comes from finding your healing in a way. So if you have made a difficult decision, the fairies are saying that you're on the right track, basically. That even though it could be somewhat painful in this time, it's going to lead to something better. So be aware of that it's like you're being guided to something better. The Priestess is asking you to research, especially here with the Page of Swords and the Hangman. You have to take some time off to research about your situation. So, for example, if you cut off from a dysfunctional family type of situation and you are suddenly feeling like guilt and remorse and people are attacking you, take this time to research the patterns of dysfunctional families, or take this time to research why you're feeling a certain way. Like, do a lot of investigation and close yourself off and create a sacred space where these people cannot access your mind, because it's the most important tool you have. And the Seven of Swords is like a positive escape, is what I'm getting. You have made a positive escape. If you're still involved with difficult people or a difficult situation, try to work in secret so that they don't see your next move. And with the Fool, it's like confirming that this decision has been made for the best and things can only get better from here. I feel like some of you are feeling like you're in a state of limbo or in a state of waiting to see what happens, and that's a good thing with the Fool. It's saying that things are about to get a lot better, and this is a life change that was long awaited for and necessary in your life. So enjoy the fact that you are free and liberated, and move forward with optimism. Lastly, I'm just going to ask the Enchanted Map Oracle deck if they have any final words of advice that want to come through from the fairies. Any final words of advice, please, that would like to come through from the fairies? Okay, well, that was clear enough. Field of Dreams. Dry desert. Okay, I'm getting that, like, okay, with Field of Dreams, this one talks about, like, it actually has fairies in the card, so that's really beautiful. But it's like the fairies are asking you to kind of protect the dreams that you've had since your childhood. So there's something that you're protecting here in these eggs, and there's something that the fairies are keeping safe for you. Like, this could be something that you wanted since you were a child, or like certain dreams that you wanted to pursue since you were a child. The fairies are keeping this safe for you so that you can return to them anytime you want. However, excuse me. However, with the dry desert, I'm getting that it's a difficult road ahead, and just be open to that, and be open to the fact that you have resilience and the strength to move you through this time. It's interesting to me how the dry desert came up, and yet there's so much water in this card, in these cards. It's like, what I'm getting is that you have all of the emotional sustenance that you need within you, that even if the external world cannot provide you with what you need, you always have like an internal source of water, of life, and that's all you really need to get you through this kind of difficult road ahead. So group three, I think I'm going to leave this reading at that. I hope it was helpful for you. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, this is just a general reading, so if it did not resonate 100%, I am available for personal readings as well. You can find the link to that in the description box below. That's my dog telling me to take her on a walk. So go ahead and leave me a comment, let me know what you thought of the video, and I hope to see you again in the future for more readings. Talk to you guys later, bye.